tracking a few of those storms that could be producing some heavier downpours. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast up next.
This morning on DC News Now, it's another DMV First Warn Day. Brittany Ward, we're going to check in with her on those storms that are on the way to our region. Final preparations ahead of today's parade to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. Festivities happening right here in the district along Constitution Avenue. And counter-protests and demonstrations across the U.S. and right here in the DMV, rallies against the Trump administration known as No Kings protests.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Haley Mylon. Let's take a live look outside right now. 7 o'clock is your time. Rosalind waking up with us this morning, looking good, but it is a DMV First Warn Day, which means that we have wind, we've got rain, we've got all that icky stuff on the way, Brittany.
Yeah, you know what? And it's Father's Day weekend. There's a lot of things happening today in the district alone, and just not the best weather day. And unfortunately, it's another weekend filled with wet weather.
Yeah, right.
So overall, stay weather aware.
2 in a row, I think.
Yeah, 2 in a row. And again, stay weather aware today. The good news is it won't be a complete washout this morning. Tonight, that's a little bit of a different story. Let's talk about satellite and radar right now, showing you what's going on across the region. We are starting to see some light drizzle roll its way through the western part of the viewing area, heading out to the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. Parts of western Maryland, we are starting to see that light drizzle, also dealing with some low visibility. So if you are out in that area, make sure to take it slow. Closer to the district, we're just holding on to those clouds, but we'll start to see a break in the clouds as we head into the second half of our morning. Now, here's the reason why we're seeing that drizzle. It's because of the stalled boundary that's just lingering across our area. This stubborn boundary will be sticking around today as well as tomorrow, producing those heavier downpours across much of the region. We can't rule out a few rumbles of thunder later on this afternoon. But the National Weather Service did issue another flood watch for much of the region just south of 66. This will go in effect today at 2 p.m. and it's going to last until about 11 p.m. tonight. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast, Haley, up next.
Thank you, Brittany. In Southeast DC, police have a person in custody after a man was stabbed and killed inside of an apartment on Alabama Avenue. Police responding to reports around 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. This is an ongoing investigation. We're going to bring you the latest as we learn more. And last night, Capitol Police arresting 60 people after a demonstration at the Supreme Court ahead of today's parade. A statement from the police saying that demonstrators pushed a bike rack down and illegally crossed a police line running towards the rotunda steps. 2 of the people who were arrested were taken to a local hospital for treatment of their injuries. Capitol Police say that prior to the arrest, they were made aware of a peaceful demonstration. Authorities say all who were arrested will face charges. If you've driven anywhere near downtown, you've probably seen that the National Mall is surrounded by fencing down Constitution Avenue, blocking off for tonight's military parade. According to the updated permit granted by the National Park Service, there's estimated to be 50,000 people showing up today. That's down from the initial estimate of 200,000. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg spoke to some of the folks who came to town for the parade.
Barriers going up on the grounds of the Washington Monument and construction crews finalizing staircases and platforms for viewing, all for the Army's 250th anniversary parade and celebration.
I've never seen a military parade, so it'll be interesting to me. I've been involved in the fire department, I've been involved in fire department parades, but nothing like this.
People from across the country are in town to get a glimpse of America's military might. 6,600 soldiers and more than 150 vehicles expected in the parade.
Seeing all the tanks, and we just walked by, there was a helicopter right over there. So just seeing all the military presence, and what they do for our country, so honoring them.
Some are here to see their family in the parade.
Our son-in-law's in the Army, so he's going to be marching in the parade, and our daughter was coming, so we thought we'd join up with her, and we're just looking forward to being part of history, something you don't get to see all the time.
Bad weather is a concern for the tens of thousands of people expected to attend, but many aren't too worried.
We expect rain, so yeah, but at least it'll be cooler maybe.
It is what it is. Yeah, we have ponchos, so we're prepared.
Rain or shine, people supporting the Army say they're excited to be here.
Now, if you're attending, there are 18 miles of fencing downtown and only 2 entrances if you're looking to view the parade. Those entrances at 14th Street between Madison and Jefferson and C Street between 18th and 19th. And dozens of streets are shut down and detours are in place ahead of the parade at 6:30 p.m. There will be changes to Metro bus routes as well, and Reagan National Airport is stopping all air traffic between 6:30 and 10 to allow for flyovers and demonstrations. Dozens of streets are shut down, detours in place ahead of the parade. There will also be changes to a number of public transit routes. So for the easiest way around, head to our website, dcnewsnow.com. You'll get all the details to plan your commute. And Metro Rail is running Saturday service. That means trains run every 4 to 6 minutes at most core stations. Metro saying riders attending the parade may use the 7 stations on your screen here to access the security checkpoints. The National Mall entrance for the Smithsonian Station will be closed all day on Saturday. And on top of that, water access will be impacted this weekend. The Coast Guard closing all movement on the Potomac River and the Washington Channel. This from the Key Bridge to Haynes Point. In a statement, Ward 6 Council member Charles Allen saying these closures are going to have an extremely damaging impact on local businesses along the waterways, disrupting business between the district and Virginia. Allen also noting that these closures will prevent the public from enjoying the waterways on Father's Day weekend. And Virginia drivers, take note, the George Washington Parkway is closed in both directions between Highway 50 and 395. It'll remain shut down through Sunday morning. Portions of the Route 27 Washington Boulevard are also impacted with full closures near the Pentagon. We've got you covered. All those details on the military parade, from timing to activities and need-to-knows, over on dcnewsnow.com. And while D.C. hosts a military parade, there are nearly 2,000 protests planned across the country today, rallying against the Trump administration, including dozens here in the DMV. They're being called No Kings rallies, and they're planned in every state and every major city. And our Ben Dennis has the details on what local organizers are expecting to see.
There's no telling how many people will show up to these nearly 2,000 scheduled protests across the U.S., including right here at the Clarendon Metro. No Kings protests, as they're labeled. It comes after the president said that D.C. protesters will be faced with a heavy response. Demonstrations outside of the White House, an everyday sight. And outside one home in Arlington, Virginia, signs are being gathered to protest Saturday's military parade across the Potomac River. Plans underway for an event called No Kings.
We're coming together to say no kings in the United States of America today or any day. We said it in 1776. We'll say it again this year.
Chris Adair is among local organizers of Arlington's protests, part of over 1,800 events scheduled for all 50 states. A No Kings protest on President's Day this year supported federal workers fighting Elon Musk's Doge cuts.
Well, thank you very much.
This week at the White House, President Trump was asked about Saturday's No Kings protest.
There are several No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those? What are they? No Kings? No Kings.
What, no King?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved.
The president the other day said that protesters will be met with very heavy force.
They will be met with very heavy force.
Your thoughts on that?
I don't know if we have many thoughts. I mean, we are exercising a First Amendment privilege. That is the right to protest. That is the right to free speech. We can organize peacefully, and we will peacefully, nonviolent protests.
And what heavy force President Trump is referring to is not exactly known. The White House press secretary responded to a reporter's question about that comment earlier this week. She says the president supports peaceful protests. Event organizers say that weapons should not be brought to these events, even if they are permitted. Speaking of those events, No Kings organizers have a map of where they're happening, including here at home on their website. In Clarendon, Ben Dennis, back to you.
Ben, thank you. Meantime, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin responding to word of protest this weekend, saying, quote, Virginians have a sacred right to free speech and peaceful assembly, but I want to be clear. There will be absolutely zero toleration for the destruction of property, looting, vandalism, or violence of any kind. National Portrait Gallery director Kim Ajette is resigning. This announcement coming 2 weeks after President Trump tried to fire her, accusing her of being highly partisan and supportive of DEI efforts. That, according to a memo obtained by The Hill. Kevin Gover, the Undersecretary for Museums and Culture, will serve as the next acting director. And Kilmer Abrego Garcia pleading not guilty to human smuggling charges in federal court. This was his first hearing since being returned to the U.S. Now, the hearing was also to determine if he can return home to his family in Maryland while he awaits trial. A judge didn't rule on that, but Abrego Garcia was wrongfully deported to El Salvador back in March. He was returned to the U.S. last week, and in Nashville, his wife spoke alongside community activists.
Our son, Kilmer Jr., is right now in his kindergarten graduation that's taking place right now. And instead, my son is alone on his big day. And I'm here fighting for my husband, for his dad to come back home.
Now, the feds claim that Abrego Garcia picked up thousands of migrants in Houston, driving them throughout the U.S. over the course of several years. At the hearing, a Department of Homeland Security agent said witnesses claim Abrego Garcia trafficked people, guns, or drugs. But Abrego Garcia's lawyers raised questions about the possible conflicts of interest in the case. And Brittany, with that parade happening today, you know it's taking thousands of people and a lot of effort to put that on. All of those people are going to be outside.
Yeah, you know, not going to be the best day to have a parade, especially for the timing of the parade. It looks like the parade will begin around 6:30 this evening, and that's when we start to see a few of those showers and storms roll their way into the region. So if you are going to be at the parade, one, have the umbrella on hand. Two, make sure to stay weather aware. So let's take a look at your planner for the parade forecast. Again, around 6 o'clock, a half an hour before the parade starts, temperatures are expected to be in the upper 70s. We do have a slight chance of seeing a few showers begin to roll their way in, but better coverage will be towards the end of the parade, right around 7 o'clock. That's when we'll start to see more widespread rain here in the district. Some of these showers and storms could be producing some heavier downpours. So again, keep that in mind if you are going to be out. By 8 o'clock, once the parade finally wraps up, we're still holding on to that wet condition. Temperatures are expected to be in the mid 70s. The good news is we do start to dry things out as we head into the overnight hours. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast, Haley, and what to expect coming up in just a bit.